And we're back with more absolute value equation word problems. All right. So remember, the way these work is we're going to find the difference of that thing that we really don't know and what it's supposed to be. So I'll just write supposed to be. All right, we'll find the difference of those two. We'll slap them in some absolute value bars, and we'll set it equal to how much it can vary by. All right, so we'll use this little trick for every single one of these problems. All right, the difference of what you have and what you think you have, or something like that, inside your absolute value bars, and that's going to be equal to how much it can vary. All right. So, first one we got says you have money in your wallet and you don't know exactly how much. So, I'm going to do absolute value bars. I'm going to say you got some money in your wallet and you don't know how much. A friend asks you how much and you say, I think I got $50. So we think we have $50. And it says give or take $15. I got $50, give or take $15. So the difference of what we have and what we think we have could be different by about $15 either way. So see how much that makes sense? It's the difference of what we think we have and what we have thrown in the absolute value bars, because it could go either direction. It could vary by a positive 15 or a negative 15. So that's how we set up all of these problems, just like that. Okay? And then we have to solve it. So I'll say I have the one that could be a positive 15. Maybe I have $15 more than I think I have. Or maybe I have $15 less than I think I have. So remember, when we do the absolute value, we're going to have a positive equation and we're going to have a negative one. So one's equal to positive 15, the other's equal to negative 15. And let's solve it. So add 15 to isolate our variable. And m equals 15 plus 50 makes 65. I could have $65. That'd be cool. And then I'll solve this one. I'll isolate the variable. And m equals 50 minus 15. I think that's 35. So maybe I just have $35. I either have $35 or $65. That's the maximum, minimum and maximum that I could have. So my maximum was $65, and my minimum is $35. All right. Very cool. So they're all going to kind of follow that same pattern. So when I go to do this next one, driving home from school, your mom says, how many more minutes? When are you coming home? You say, I got about 15 minutes, Mom, plus or minus 3. So the actual minutes that I'm driving, and I tell my mom I've got about 15 minutes. So the difference of reality versus what I tell my mom can vary by 3. All right, follows the same pattern. All right, the 3 is how much it can vary by. All right, so again, we have our two equations. I'm gonna have, yeah, Mom, it might be 3 minutes later than I said, or maybe I get there 3 minutes earlier. Okay. So let's solve this and see what our possibilities for getting home are. So we want to solve for m, so we're going to use the inverse operation and add 15. And m equals 3 plus 15 makes 18 minutes. Maybe I'll be home in 18 minutes. Over here, add 15. And m equals negative 3 plus 15, or 15 minus 3 is 12. Maybe I'll be home in 12 minutes. So I should be home between 12 and 18 minutes. 12 being the minimum of amount of time it takes me to get home, and 18 minutes being the maximum amount of time it takes me to get home. All right. Next up, the recommended mass of a soccer ball is 430 grams. So that's what's recommended. So I want to try to be close to that. Yeah. So my actual mass, I'm using m for every variable. I don't mean to. It's just happening. M for money, m for minutes, m for mass. Just a coincidence. So my actual mass, the difference of my actual mass and the 430 can vary by 20 grams. Okay, so I could be over or under by 20 grams. So remember, we have our positive one. So m minus 430 equals a positive 20. And m minus 430 equals a negative 20. So I can be above or below. Let's solve. Add 430, because that's the inverse operation. And m could equal 20 plus 430 makes 450 grams. Okay, and on the other side, again, add 430, because that's how we isolate the m variable. And when I do that, I got m equals 410 grams. All right, so my soccer ball's got to be between those two. Otherwise, I could get in trouble with the referee. Last up, the ideal selling price of a Toyota is $25,000. The dealer allows this price to vary by 5%. Okay, a percent. So I don't really want to see a percent. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that percent, and I'm going to see how much that percent is in cash money. So 5% of 25,000. Another way to write 5% is as a decimal. 5%. Remember, percents go up to 100. So 100% would be like saying, in decimal form, 1.00. 50% would be like saying 0.5. 5%, though, as a decimal, is like saying 0.05. If you're thinking about it in terms of money, 5 cents, 5 pennies, is 5% of a dollar. So really just try to make that look like 5 pennies, 0.05. So it's 5% of, which means multiplication, 25,000. So 5% of 25,000. I had to bust out my calculator for this. It was $1,250. All right, so with this one had one extra little baby step where we had to figure out what 5% was. So 5% of 25,000. Now the rest of the problem, we're just going to do the same as we've been doing. We're going to set it up the same way. So there's the actual selling price. I'm going to use P for price. And it can, and the ideal price is 25,000. So we're going to set it up just like we did all the others. The absolute value around the difference, and when I say difference, I mean subtraction. So absolute value around the difference of the price, P, and the ideal price, 25,000. And it can vary by 5%, and we've already figured out that 5% is 1,250. So I'm going to have to set this up with a positive equation and a negative equation. I'm going to run out of room here. There we go. So I'll have a P minus 25,000 equals 1,250. There's my positive equation. And a P minus 25,000 equals negative 1,250. Ooh. So we'll solve them both. Inverse operations, add 25,000. So I can figure out what P is, get P by itself. P equals, math, okay. So it's going to be 2,000. I didn't stack this up very nice. It would have been a lot easier if I would have stacked it up. 26,250 is the most we'll be paying for our Toyota. Or maybe I'll be paying, All right, do the subtraction, and we do get 23,750. All right, that was the most fun one by far. We got to deal with percents. We'll deal with percents a lot more as this class goes on. But the important thing is that we understood how this worked. Okay, the standard requires us to be able to set up these equations and understand what the parts mean. So you could see it on a test as like which one of these equations represents the situation, all right, where you would have to pick out which equation is correct. All right, all right.